Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The freight industry has raised concerns about the impact Brexit will have on goods being brought in and out of the UK amid fears it could lead to traffic chaos around the port of Dover. Companies in Kent are now considering places to store goods awaiting customs clearance, as our home editor Mark Easton reports.
Taking control of our borders was one of the central promises of the Brexit campaign. As negotiations continue, the government insists, whatever else, Britain will leave the EU's customs union next March, and freight arriving in Dover will cross an international boundary.
And whether Brexit is soft, hard or no deal, there'll need to be some kind of system for checking just what is coming in.
Currently, lorries from within the EU don't need even to pause at Dover. But after Brexit, 210 million containers a year will potentially be added to those requiring customs checks.
40% of the food we eat in this country comes from Europe. That's the 1,000 trucks a day that are coming through Dover here on the ferries and through the tunnel, bringing the food to our supermarkets and the restaurants. Any interruption in that supply chain is going to be very quickly noticed.
The M20, already used as a short-term lorry park when channel crossings are interrupted, is being prepared for far greater disruption. And the disused airport at Manston, 20 miles north of Dover, has been earmarked as an overflow park once the motorway is full. A sensible precaution or scaremongering?
This is where Project Fear and Brexit reality may well meet. A roundabout on the A256 just outside Sandwich.
This is the road from Manston to Dover, with potentially hundreds of extra lorries. Some have suggested the town of Sandwich will be cut off.
It's just a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare for the town.
It's a situation that can only end in disaster.
The fear about the 30-mile queue is fear, this business of Project Fear.
In the town square, I met the local Kent County councillor. The authority recently wrote to the government concerned that plans for an orderly Brexit are years behind schedule.
There's technology that could provide the answers. Whether the technology can be in place fast enough to do that is a different issue, and I think people need to work extremely hard to work out how that's going to happen.
You've only got a few months though.
I know, and that's why people are so concerned, isn't it?
With the threat of disruption, warehouse companies are building speculatively on sites in Essex and Kent.
We've got a matter of 2 or 3 months to put infrastructure in place to cope with 5 times as many customs clearances as we currently do.
Another logistics veteran, Richard Perryman, fears that whatever kind of Brexit we get, fragile supply chains won't survive.
The stories that are being told currently about needing to stockpile food and medicine is realistic. I really do believe there's going to be a major disruption to supply chains.
Isn't this just Project Fear?
The kind of infrastructure that we need to support what I foresee as being the requirement cannot be fixed by the end of March.
Well, this is real world-class infrastructure.
Could the kind of facility operating at London Gateway be a long-term solution to the customs conundrum? More than 1 million containers from 60 countries are moved through each year. But the current rules say 1 container in 25 must be inspected. The Border Force checks for smuggling. There are 10 government agencies which examine food shipments.
All of the fruit and vegetable products coming through here are subject to inspection, and in the case of chicken from Brazil, 100%. So what's going to happen with chicken coming from Poland?
So we can't get frictionless trade.
There's no such thing as frictionless trade.
Some have suggested that after Brexit next March, in the short term, the authorities at Dover might simply wave through trucks from Europe without any checks. And they anticipate that the French on the other side might do something similar to keep traffic flowing.
Kent voted strongly for Brexit, and you'll find plenty of people, local MPs included, insistent that all will be well. But if it means keeping our main European crossing open, opponents on both sides are sure to ask if, rather than taking control of our borders, Britain is giving up any control at all. Mark Easton, BBC News, Kent.